Welcome to Center for Excellence, Neeraj.
Thank you.
Jamshedpur has this knack of producing not only world-class steel, but also talented artists. What is your take on this?
Yes, I think so. Just as Tata Steel in Jamshedpur is a world-class artist in their own profession, I think it has produced many artists, many sportsmen, many people, I think, many humans who've done amazing work on this planet. And I believe in that a lot. Jamshedpur has got a huge amount of people who've changed a lot of things outside of Jamshedpur and in Jamshedpur. And I'm very proud of that.
How did the culture or educational environment of Jamshedpur shape your early interest in the art or acting or storytelling that you have taken up?
Well, the first play that I did in Jamshedpur was in my school at the Loyola High School. And that play was called The Monkey's Paw, which was directed by Father Pa at that time. That play shaped a lot of things. The initial understanding of this craft happened at that point of time. And the culture of Jamshedpur, what can I say? It's the ambience over here that keeps you steady and relaxed. I think that does a lot of good to people who want to do anything in their lives. This steadiness is very important. And growing up in a culture like this, where you have the Tatas, actually, I'm using the word Tatas all the time because I have been personally very inspired by their entire journey, their legacy. And that's what makes me feel even more proud of Jamshedpur because it belongs to the Tatas and they've created everything over here. The atmosphere that has been over here throughout, right from my school days, I understand, has been that of people that I've met over here, people from the Steel City, people outside the Steel City, people who have come and gone out of Jamshedpur, have done things abroad and come back again, done things outside the city and come back again. This culture itself, and it's a multi-cultured space. We have Bengalis, we have Odias, we have Biharis. We have such a array of languages and cultures over here. So one has grown up with that kind of culture, that kind of thought process, that kind of food that you eat over here, all kinds of food. It affects your whole system. It's not about just eating food, but I think it affects your system. It affects the way you think. It affects the way you listen to everything. You know, you're listening to Bengali, you're listening to Odia, you're listening to Bihari. Each one of these languages that you're listening to has got a very deep, intrinsic culture inside it. And that's what you take away from here when you leave from Jamshedpur.
Many artists carry a sense of place in their work. Does Jamshedpur ever appear, even subtly, in the stories you choose or the emotions that you put across?
Yes, the way I speak Hindi in Jamshedpur, which is not pure Hindi, it is Bihari Hindi, and I've been speaking that all through. That comes a lot into not the Hindi speaking, but the culture of that language comes a lot in the stories that I perform in as an actor. Even if I'm speaking in pure Hindi or even if I'm speaking in English, for example, if I'm doing a play, but that sense of that language and the way we would speak that language, the way the language would make us connect with each other as humans in this city, that plays a very major role over there whenever I'm performing.
How did your family and community in Jamshedpur react to your unconventional path into theater and cinema?
Oh, very difficult. It's very tough. I'm lucky that initially, of course, no family agrees to. So I don't blame anybody for that. Every father, every mother is concerned about his or her child's financial security and all that. That is a concern of every parent. That was the concern of my parents as well. But eventually, I think they were they did, every parent understands this and they were very supportive of it much later, of course. But once I started my journey, there was a lot of support, and I laud my parents for that. I regard my parents for the fact that they never discouraged me from doing this. That's a very big thing in any parent. A lot of parents discourage the child.
Yes.
Don't do this because this is not going to lead anywhere. I've never heard my father, mother say this to me ever in their life. I knew that they did not approve of it too much because they were concerned about me, but they've never said it in words that do not do this. They've never said that. And I am so proud of that fact that I was blessed to have parents like this.
Wonderful. So the Jamshedpur you grew in, and now when you come back to the Jamshedpur that it is today, what would you say? How has it grown?
I don't think it's grown in any which ways. I remember the beautiful Jamshedpur that I left. It is still the same. Maybe a few extra uh, constructions here and there, maybe a few extra shops here and there, maybe a few more people coming in. But I think Jamshedpur still maintains its rhythm, its presence, its own way of doing things. There's a particular rhythm in which everything happens over here. And it is still there. The same kind of people, although they're all old, aged now, next generation coming in. But Jamshedpur still retains its charm. I visit this city every year during the pujas, and earlier I used to visit during Christmas. It has the same ambience even now, at least for me. The ambience everywhere in the shops. You have the same bustle, you have the same arguments, the same bargaining of prices. And when you visit the clubs and other places, it still remains the same. It still has its own ambience, its class, its elegance, everything is there.
So if you are told to sum up Jamshedpur, how would you put it
Very tough.
across?
How do I sum up the city? I've grown in the city. This is my matrabhumi, so I can't sum this up. It's very difficult to use a word or a sentence like that. But yes, it's something I want to come back to all the time. And I've always wanted to come back. That's why for so many years I keep coming back. And I don't think I can do without this. It is not possible to live in a different city like Mumbai and not come here. It just gets back your sanity back again and you're recharged to go back again. This is what the city does all the time. And like I said, it inspires me because of the Tatas. Even in Mumbai, I keep reading about everything the Tatas do. That's one company that has stayed in me all my life. It is even more now. As I'm growing up, I'm beginning to admire them even more and more of what they've done. And I wish I can be of any use to the Tatas in any which way as an artist. I would jump to it. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks so much.